What is up, everybody, NC?
JC and
We are back with Triple H as a bad booker. This was one that was widely requested after the awful slop that Triple H put on the Raw on Netflix debut. We were there live streaming it, covering every single second. So we got to see in live in real time how awful this show was and how much it underperformed. Even hardcore nerds like JD was saying it was a bad show. So this is one of those shows that was so bad that even the nerds couldn't say Papa H. Cook. They had to divert and say, look at all the boos that Hulk Hogan got. It became the Hulk Hogan got booed card and not, wow, this show sucked. They weren't talking about, banger matches like they usually do. No. They were talking about, the celebrities, the kickouts. And we got Hulk Hogan getting booed. That's all that was really of substantial to them. So, for anybody that didn't sit through that shit fest, we're going to go ahead and just give our little rundown of everything that happened. So, first off, it started out with The Rock opening up the show after impressive quote-unquote video package and a message from Paul Levesque. A very long, drawn-out, boring message where he had to stroke his own ego. So, Rock, corporate Rock. He was definitely corporate Rock and not Final Boss Rock for this. He came out and he talked up the Netflix debut, acknowledging Netflix executives, and then he went and personally thanked Cody Rhodes for carrying WWE on his back, before also shouting out his cousin Roman Reigns ahead of his match with Solo Sakoa. So it was just unnecessary dick sucking that happened right off the get-go that would just turn you right off. It wasn't anything exciting. It was very PG, very corporate sanitized. And then they don't help much when they go right into the first match. This is not the main event. In any other show, this would easily be the main event. But they're like, you know what? Let's take a match that is longer than most of our Raw main events, and let's put it in the beginning. And let's have it between Roman Reigns, who is still kind of one of the biggest draws that they have in the company. They don't have many left, up against this fat, pudgy jobber, Solo Sikoa. The match went on way too fucking long. It's one of those matches where they had tons of commercial breaks through it. Like, at least 4 or 5 commercial breaks through it. It was that fucking long. It was nothing but kick out, kick out, kick out. Roman get a tiny little trickle of blood right above his eyebrow. Weapons being used left and right. Like, it was such a sloppy match. And if that's what they had planned for WrestleMania, kind of thank God that they just put it on a Raw and just forgot about it. Hopefully we don't have to see those two go at it ever fucking again. But yeah, it was such a shitty hardcore match. So you had Tongaloa, he ran in. Jacob Fatu ran in. Then you had Jimmy Uso and Sami Zayn run in to be the equalizers. And then KO came in for whatever reason to hit Reigns with the stunner. I don't know why that happened. And then that brought out Cody, because you got to have Cody feuding with KO, and then they're fucking brawling all over the place, and finally they leave Reigns and Sakahoa alone in the ring. Reigns hits 2 spears, not 1 spear on this fat pudgy jobber, but 2 fucking spears after a 50-minute match to take out this fucking loaf of bread. This is what pisses me off, dude, is you would show this fight, or anybody watching Netflix, especially you're like, you know what, I want something that's combat sports after seeing Tyson and Jake Paul. I don't know jack shit about pro wrestling. Let me start out by watching this WWE. And you see this big, low, 6'3" Samoan dude who looks like he lives in the gym getting bitched by a guy who looks like he would be a fat prison bitch. Like, to see a competitive fight out of somebody so fucking out of shape and tubby, I don't care if Solo Sikoa is getting better. Up against Roman Reigns, he looked like a fat little kid. He did not look like a man. Roman looked like a fucking beast like he usually does. And that's why people just tuning in were like, wow, this Roman Reigns guy is fucking cool.
And my question is, why would this match open the show? What sense does this make to open the show with this match? A match with Roman Reigns in it. I mean, like, if you're trying to make Roman Reigns look like a curtain jerker, congratulations, Triple H, you did it.
Right. It's a situation with Roman Reigns where ever since he came back to the company after that leukemia scare, we've seen his stock downgrade so much. He lost in that tag team match to Solo Sikoa. He got the victory over Solo Sikoa for a fucking chili pepper necklace. got a victory over him in a fucking almost hour-long match with all the intros and commercial breaks and everything. Almost an hour-long match. So he fought harder than he's ever had to fight against people like Brock Lesnar, against the biggest names of the company. He fought harder against Solo Sikoa than he has against any other previous challenger. Like, he looked, for a guy to look this weak when he's that jacked, he's the Samoan Superman, and he looks that weak against him, that's an indictment on Triple H. When you see Solo Sikoa kick out of just about everything Roman can throw at him, to the point that he has to do 2 spears back to back, that's fucking bad. This is the one thing that we always rag on Triple H for, is he has devalued finishers. He has devalued ending a match in an appropriate time just to keep extending it out, to keep the fans edging. That's what he's all about at this point. He wants to replicate New Japan so much with their long, pointless match bullshit that he's injuring his roster and burning them the fuck out by doing this stupid shit.
Well, he's not only doing that, but he's also giving away, like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania caliber matches on TV. That's not what Raw is. Raw is a weekly episodic TV show. That's where that Raw should have been, to establish the number one storyline going into WrestleMania. That's what that Raw should have been, and it failed in every fucking category, in every regard.
Absolutely.
And right now, you heard Stephanie McMahon jerking off. Oh, Raw's number 1 on Netflix. Well, I'm looking at it right now. It's not. No, it's not even in the top 10. It dropped out of the top 10 on Thursday, and it's nowhere to be found. In fact, the shows that were in the top 10 ahead of Raw on Netflix. Well, you got American Prime. I'm looking at it right now. So you got American Primeval at number 1. You got Jerry Springer Fights Camera Action number 2. Squid Game number 3. They've kind of held steady. Gabriel Iglesias number 4. Missing You number 4. Gabriel Iglesias number 5. The Breakthrough number 6. Younger number 7. I Am a Killer number 8. Upshaw's number 9, and Virgin River number 10. Where's Monday Night Raw?
It lasted for 2 days and then it fell the fuck off. That's what they didn't cover, is the fact that something like that, it doesn't have sustaining popularity. People are going to check it out that night, and then I think a lot of people didn't want to check it out after that. And trust me, it's not like they're hiding it on the Netflix homepage. It's stuff to really see, is they're talking about WWE shit as soon as you log into Netflix. So Netflix obviously has a lot of sponsorship money behind this. They have a lot of ad money behind this. They want WWE to succeed, but with WWE being the fucking failure it is, good luck. So anyways, back to the whole ending of this match. It was already an awful match, but then what they do is they have Roman come in and they give him the chili pepper necklace. Rock came in, gave him the chili pepper necklace, gave him a handshake and a hug. How does that make sense with them feuding? This was honestly, like, the way that Rock was treated in this show was an absolute fucking travesty, even more so than Hulk Hogan. I think Hulk Hogan was no doubt set up, but The Rock, I think, was set up for failure because he ruined 2 effective storylines that he was building over all this time for some stupid fucking show. So here he was ahead of time. We were supposed to have Bloodline versus New Bloodline. We were supposed to have Rock's team versus Roman's team. We were supposed to have Cody versus Rock. We were supposed to have more on that. They were supposed to build on that. And here we forget about the fact that Rock was beating him down with a weight belt and humiliated his family.
Blooding him. That right there is a big problem with this too, is that, people are going to ask, well, didn't you guys want Roman versus The Rock anyways? Well, yeah, we wanted it, last year. The problem with it is that during that time, The Rock and The Rock was getting heat on Cody Rhodes, and there was a story there. And we want to see The Rock beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes in a match.
Yeah. We just wanted The Rock to make a comeback, man, and we wanted him to be the badass final boss Rock. We didn't want corporate Rock, and that's what we really got for that show, is we got corporate Rock. And then it didn't help that right after that we had fucking corporate Cena come out. So corporate Cena comes out to do his little farewell tour and told us something that we already fucking knew. Oh, I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble. We knew, dude.
Whoa.
Everybody knew this is your retirement tour, so you're going to be in all the big matches. You're really going all out. You're not going to win anything, but you still have fucking retards that were hating on you 3 years ago saying, Cena deserves his 17th world title win. You weren't saying that 3 years ago.
No,
you weren't saying that 5 years ago. Anyways. So yeah, of course, stupid fucking pointless segment. Not John Cena calling out somebody. Just him being, I'm Mr. Happy McDonald's guy. Vote for me in the Royal Rumble. I'm going to be awesome, even though I'm going to lose. So after that, they go to a match that could have meant more, but it was unfortunately very shitty, and that's Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. So it's pretty much exactly what you would figure. It was one of the shorter matches on the card, of course, because it has women on it, and Rhea, as much as Triple H loves her, can't mask the fact that she's a botchy wrestler. So Rhea beats Liv Morgan, wins the title on Raw, pointless fucking title win, and then afterwards, here's the killer. For no fucking reason at all, they have Undertaker come down to the ring on his bicycle as lazy-ass American badass, do a circle around the fucking ring with his motorcycle, go back up and acknowledge Rhea Ripley. For no fucking what was the fucking point of that shit? What was the point of that?
The point of it was to try and give Rhea Ripley the rub. And what we've seen throughout the night was use the stars from the past to give the current guys the rub. That's what it was. And that's not how it works. How it works with Raw, if you want to hold on to those casual viewers that tuned in, and there's going to be a sizable drop-off. Like, I'm expecting the viewership next week. If it was 2.6 million and 4.9 worldwide, it's probably going to be like 3.5 worldwide tomorrow. And like what? Half that 1.6, 1.7 worldwide in America, and it will barely be in the top 10.
Well, and that's the thing too, is even with the 4.9, you got to do conversion tactics with that shit, because people are just taking a 4.9 as a base. If you do conversion, it's basically the same number that they're getting for a good Raw. So like, let's say 1.7, 1.8. It's essentially that. And even then, that's going to drop as we head into WrestleMania season, because as we've seen from Triple H's booking, he's just going to do what he wants. He doesn't care. He's now the spotlight to give his NXT Black and Gold darlings the big rub. So here's what he's doing, is he's giving them the big rub. You're seeing matches like Dakota Kai and Valkyria on the next card. You know, why? But why are we seeing this on a Raw? It should be on a SmackDown, buried in the bottom of a card, if anything. But this is what we're dealing with. So, yeah, after that shit match, I forgot to mention too, they had the most predictable bullshit with Dominic coming in the ring and acting like he was going to attack her, and then she turns around and he's like, "Aw, take me, mommy, I want you back." And of course she kicks him in the nuts. They had to be as predictable as possible and suck as much fucking Rhea smart dick. The most psychotic fan base, mind you, even more psychotic than Cody fans. They had to suck the Rhea fan base's dick. And why? Why?
Because he wanted to put her over, and the feud that we're going to get next is with Rhea Ripley, from what I'm hearing, and what it looks like they're kind of lining up is Lyra Valkyria versus Rhea Ripley. That's the feud we're going to be getting with Rhea Ripley. Like, honestly, they would have been better just to keep the title on Liv. Liv looks like more of a star. Liv is more attractive. Liv is better on the mic, and Rhea Ripley is god awful on the microphone. She is horrible.
Well, that's the thing, too, is you want the new viewers. What you got to go for is not fetishes. You need to go for common sense. And that's the problem with WWE. It's a bunch of fucking marks with weird muscle fetishes that are running shit. And no, I'm sorry, your fetish does not rule the world. Yeah, there's some fucking weird, fat, nasty mommy fans out there. But a majority of dudes out there, if they're presented an option, they're going to bang Liv. It's that fucking simple. You ask any Netflix executive, even as DI as they are, and they'll be like, "Dude, I'm gonna fuck the little blonde girl. I'm not gonna fuck Marilyn Manson over there." You know, I mean, it's common sense. But yeah. Anyways, on to the next match, and this match was somehow even shorter than that previous one. They had Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre, and this to me was, I believe, the most pointless match in the show because there was no storyline reason for it. At the very least, you can say, yeah, there's storyline reason for Solo and Roman. Yeah, there's storyline reason for Liv and Rhea. Yeah, there's storyline reason for Punk and Rollins. But with McIntyre and Jey Uso, there was no fucking point to it. It's like, here's a random fucking match featuring two guys from the back. We don't want to kill Drew McIntyre's heat, even though got fucking destroyed by CM Punk in the cage. So we're going to have Jey Uso do a roll-up sneak pin on him, and that will be his way of going over for whatever reason. It was a pointless match that made no fucking sense, that served no fucking person, that really didn't help out anybody. You have two fan favorites going at it. Why? If anything, it should have been a solid heel. I don't care how Drew McIntyre is being billed. I look at him as a harder face. He's not a heel. So you have two baby faces going. Why? There's anytime you have two baby faces go at it, it's retarded. That's the new type of booking that they try to do. It should always be the dynamic of neutral or face or heel or face. That's how it should always fucking be. But no, these are the fucking retards that we're dealing with. So, anyways, Jey Uso gets that sneak pinfall, and then we go to something that I think was a blatant setup. We go to Hulk Hogan. He comes out to promote his beer. Keep in mind, his beer is on the mat, so you're going to see it every fucking Raw, you liberal smart jackasses. Mm-hmm. He comes out to promote his beer and gets piped in booze. And trust me, I got a video that shows you direct from the crowd side. You hear maybe a couple people booing and what sounds like a very factory standard boo. I think that there were some people booing, I don't doubt that, but I think that was a very aided situation, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and it was an enhanced situation where Triple H made it a lot worse, because on it, like we've heard rumors of Triple H having heat with Hulk Hogan, CM Punk having heat with Hulk Hogan, maybe even Nick Khan has heat with Hulk Hogan. It wouldn't surprise me if they did that. If I were Hulk Hogan, I would have gone out there as Hollywood Hulk Hogan and sold that beer like, don't listen to these whiny snowflakes in the crowd, brother. Get yourself a real American beer. These pussies can't handle it. Something like that.
Yeah, no, that would have at least got people talking. And that's what they're already doing, is they're already talking about trying to work in a heel angle for Hogan going forward so they can roll off the boos. But I just think it's the saddest thing that people will boo people that are proud of America nowadays. People like Logan Paul, Hulk Hogan, these are heavily booed people that support their country and love their country.
Well, and we got to talk about the pipes. So were there... I think that there absolutely were. When you watch the footage, you could see that the pipes, the boos were genuine for sure. There were a lot of genuine boos, but it does seem like they did pipe in some of the booing, not all of it, but some of it.
It was an enhanced
it's in LA.
situation.
Yeah. Well, it was an enhanced situation. I mean, so they're in LA. There's a lot of fucking whiny snowflakes out there booing Hulk Hogan. I'm not surprised by that at all. But yeah, I just think that they definitely did not put Hulk Hogan in a good light. They made him look like shit. And I feel like it may have been intentional.
You would be right to feel that way. I mean, it very much seemed like that. They had known. Oh, they had to. No, they definitely knew they were setting them up in the snake pit. So, they had a couple pointless segments. Some stupid segment with the New Day in the back with the fluffy dude, the fluffy comedian guy. And that was just absolutely fucking pointless. Did not need to be on the show at all. There's a lot of filler, a lot of ads on this. Like it felt like at least a good half of it was ads, if not more. It was really,
it was insane. Bad. It's just like it adds every fucking like. I get Netflix wants to make money on it, but good God.
Right.
Good God. I mean, and the show itself only got like 4. It didn't even get 5 million viewers worldwide. It got 4.9.
Well, especially when you hear people in other foreign countries and they're not getting the ads. There's been so many people, our overseas fans, that have told us that, we get to watch this shit without ads. I feel bad that you got to sit through that shit, but they actually get to see entrances. They see segments that we don't see on TV. A lot of shit gets cut out for the American fans, the home base of WWE, so to speak.
Honestly, are you missing much?
You aren't. You aren't. I mean, they really cut the fat. That's the one good thing, I guess, in a way. You just see shitty commercials over wrestling fat. But they had the wrestling fat at the very end with CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. And this match, it was not terrible. I mean, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But having Seth use the go to sleep and do it better than Punk didn't make Punk look good. And then you had Punk beat Rollins. I don't know. It felt to me like an unnecessary win. I felt like with Punk, they're doing all they can to really push this guy, and you're not going to get investment on it. As soon as you give him the title from Gunther, he's going to get hurt. He cannot handle doing that schedule anymore. He can't. He's not at that level anymore.
He's not. I mean, and he's 46 years old. Like, what are they thinking? Are they thinking that, he's going to last forever? No. He's going to break down. He's going to get more injury prone the older he gets. It's just what happens. So it's more short-sighted thinking from Triple H. I get the decision to bring in CM Punk and push him because he is a star. He is, he does sell merch. He can help you sell tickets. So I get that, but at the same time, you got to start building for the future. And I don't feel like they did that here. They just kind of went with what they had, like putting the title back on Rhea. What does that do? Having Roman Reigns win the fucking Ula Follow. What heat does that get? What does that set up? Nothing. And then at the end of the show, like Punk winning again. Who are you setting up for the future?
Nobody. Well, and even then, the show did such a terrible job of, like you said, setting up people for the future. When you have the future of the company, Tiffany Stratton and Braun Breaker, sitting at ringside like they're fucking fans of the show, why the fuck do you have the people on Raw sitting at ringside and not on the show when you got a 3.5 hour show format? Technically, he can go 4 or 5, however fucking long he wants. But that's what everybody was being told ahead of time, is he has 3.5 hours to play with. Yet only in 3.5 hours, all we got was 4 matches. 4 really boring, pointless fucking matches. That's what we got. And that's what we always say. When you have that much time, why aren't you utilizing your roster? Why aren't you trying to do more with your time instead of fucking all those people over and letting them sit back in catering? It pisses me off that so many people are underutilized and just sit in the back while every fucking show is 12 to 15 people, and that's it. We got to cap it out so these people get their time to shine in the ring.
Because like what you said earlier, it's that the people running the business now, even with TNA, they are wrestlers, and wrestlers understand wrestling, and to them, if they're going to make a show feel big time, and that's what they were trying to do here, is make this feel big time, they're going to book it like a WrestleMania. They're going to book it like a big time pay-per-view. And that's what they did with this. That's what it feels like they did with the show, is they wanted to make it feel more like WrestleMania and less like, the most must-see episode of Raw that they could, possibly, ever put on. That's the problem here, is that when wrestlers run the business, this is what they do.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And another big problem too was all the fucking celebrities in the crowd. They put more emphasis on the celebrities in the crowd than their own pro wrestlers. Like when we're fawning over Travis Scott coming out because he did the new Raw theme or whatever, who gives a shit? Why are we putting a camera on some dude smoking weed on a fucking late night kid show? Like it's one thing if you want to do it on a podcast, but you're on a national TV show. It doesn't help, too, with all the shit in his past that he's done. And everybody's like, oh, this is so awesome. This is, Raw is so edgy now. It's like, dude, who cares? They made such a big deal about all these celebrities. Macaulay Culkin getting the biggest pop of the night.
I know.
Made such a big deal about pointless fucking celebrities. And nothing, that's what it was. It was a corporatized, long 3-hour advertisement. It was a 3-hour WWE infomercial with celebrities in it. That's exactly what it was.
It was. It needed what the show needed to do more than anything else. The number one thing that it needed to do is it needed to set up the main storyline for WrestleMania. Because if you're having this grand debut on Netflix, this is the perfect time, and it's the beginning of the year too. We're in WrestleMania season. Start it now. And what that story, in my opinion, should have been is the power struggle between The Rock and Triple H. That The Rock is selfish and wants to, book what he wants, to do what he wants. And Triple H is like, no, you can't. I'm booking for the fans. I'm doing the right thing. I'm the good guy. And so you have that clashing, that clashing and that conflict. Like, that could have been a story that they could have built, and that could have retained casual viewers. Oh, shit, The Rock and Triple H are in a feud? Oh, okay. What's gonna happen here? Like, they could have done that. They could have done so much more. They just did matches because they're wrestlers, and that's what the wrestlers do.
I think, honestly, The Rock is scared to go in that direction again after the fan backlash over the Cody shit. And he's afraid if he puts himself in a position like that, it's going to be nuclear heat that goes even further. Maybe I'm just making shit up, but I just think that after he went through that shit with Cody, that changed how he looked at a lot of things. And he's like, you know what? I got to be very careful. The fans really hate me. I did not want this coming back, but they really fucking hate me. And I got to find a way for them to like me again. I think he's in that mode right now. I think he's in, basically damage mode, where he's like, I got to do anything I can to protect my status and my name value.
Because then why come out dressed like Final Boss Rock?
I know.
The vest and the glasses. Yeah. Why come out dressed like that and lead people to think, oh, we're going to see Final Boss Rock? Well, no, it would be like if Hulk Hogan came out in his black and white NWO gear and he acts like a baby face. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you are portraying your heel gimmick. Why are you doing this?
He'd probably be like, oh, that's just the way I dress. It's like, no, we know better, dude. That is the fucking Final Boss getup. Same shit that you wore when you were slapping Cody down with the weight belt. So,
exactly.
Helios Ross says, why is dissension not apparent between Rock, Noseman, and TKO? A lot of it has to do with what we always talk about on our Question Everything live streams. Everybody at the top is all friends, even if they're enemies to the public eye. Everybody at the top is all friends because it's all a money game. When we're all making money, I'm talking about those couple of people. When they're making money, life is good. Everybody gets along. Everything's cool. I think more than anything, they don't want to ruffle any feathers with these psychotic fans, and they just want to give them what they want heading into Mania. And they want to, they don't want to ruffle feathers at Netflix either. They want to make like it's all hunky dory. Everything is cool. Because us as wrestling fans, we're a lot more passionate than these business executives. That's why Triple H mails it in. He has no passion for pro wrestling. He doesn't have to. He's a multimillionaire. The Rock, he doesn't have to have any passion for pro wrestling. He's a multimillionaire. These guys, they don't have to have passion for pro wrestling.
There's no pressure.
There's no pressure. There is no competitor. So it's like, hey, we're winning. Look at all this money we got. Fuck it. Kumbaya, let's mail it in. And that's what it is. It's like all of us, we want this Rock and Triple H war. We want something that's actually going to get people talking about pro wrestling, especially after you had that incident where Rock and Triple H got into it. We showed you guys on the news where Rock and Triple H got into it. That was a very cool thing to show on camera. I think what they're trying to show Netflix and TKO is that, hey, we can all get along. Everything's cool. Everything's chill. I think that's the big message that both sides are trying to portray, even though we can tell there's definitely heat between both of them.
I mean, and what they may be what they may be trying to do now is like, they may try to like turn this into like a swerve where Rock is acting like, oh, I'm buddy with Cody, I like you, psych, and then he just beats the fuck out of him on a random Raw, and then that gets people talking. The problem with that is that the main problem that I have with everything that they did on the show is that this show was supposed to be, it was going to be the most attention that any Raw on Netflix for the most part is going to get. You need to capitalize on that. You need to like strike while the iron is hot, not wait months or weeks down the road to then set up a huge angle on a Raw on Netflix. No, you need to do it now. You need to hook those casual viewers who may not come back the next week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, from now. You need to hook them now. They didn't hook anybody. Any casual fan that tuned in to watch that Raw on Netflix, I feel like they're gonna be peeling off entirely in the next 3 weeks. They may tune in to see, okay, well, that was that first draw. What's the next draw going to be like? And be like, okay, well, this shit's boring. Click,
Oh, yeah, no, they're definitely going to tune some people out. It was not a very good strategy going forward, but like I said before, they've already made their paycheck. They've already made their money. At this point, just put in slop. People will still fucking love it and call it bangers. People will still praise it. Fuck it. That's where they're all at. They're all like, hey, we're getting paid. Times are good. Fuck it. Mail it in. Crack open a beer. Forget about it. That's what it's all about. M. Garza said, even Pilana Productions realizes Triple H is a bad booker when Rhea won the title from Liv. Me and him expecting Liv having the title till WrestleMania, a triple threat with Rhea and Becky. Well, he felt that if Rhea won the title on Raw and Netflix, it would make that a defining moment of the show. He wanted something that was going to overshadow all the part-timers, the Rocks, the Hulk Hogans, the John Cenas. He wanted something that was going to be like, hey, this is my star. I made her in NXT Black and Gold, and now she's the top champion. Suck a dick. He wanted to, and that's why he even had Undertaker come out and raise her hand up, and knuckle butt and all that shit. Is he wanted more than anything to put the spotlight on one of his favorite females, Rhea Ripley, and the people that, you're going to have that one psychotic fan base, that very niche, small fan base, love her and her muscles and all that other shit. Most guys are going to look at her like a tattooed, ugly dyke. Right. They're not going to want to get with that. So no. It's like I said, fetishes are never a good strategy going forward. You got to go for common sense when it comes to females. And just aesthetics in general. You got to understand what common sense people like for women. Anyways. True said, Noseman on Raw, it's all about me and my legacy, and nobody calls him out for it. That's the crazy thing, Truth, is very few people call him out for how much of an egotistical jackass he is, and that this is one of the few generations in the last 30 to 40 years, hell, ever, that has ever come out and said, my generation is better than every other single one. No other generation has said that. But with the Triple H era and all his wrestlers that are employed by him, they all have to toe this narrative that this is the hot period right now. This is the boom. There is no better area of wrestling right now than right now. If you're a wrestling fan, you're eating good, so to speak. They always go about that shit. It's stupid, dude.
Well, it's the only way it's better than it was in the past is that wrestling is more accessible now than what it was in the 90s, early 2000s, 2010s. Like, because now you can stream it on Netflix, you can stream it on Peacock, you can see it on linear TV. So it's like, oh, and you could even watch it over the air. You could watch Wild Women of Wrestling if you're here in Southern California. I think other people may air too on CW. And then you look at NXT also, right? You could even watch wrestling on Twitter now. So it's like it's all over the place. It's all at your fingertips. The only problem with it is it's all for one audience. It's all for the same audience.
Absolutely. And that's how Triple H books. He doesn't know how to book any other way. He's shown us he does not know how to book any other way. This is the closest to a Vince card that you're going to get with his current booking, because he doesn't want to give those types of fans the rub. He did that for Raw and Netflix because, he had to pull out his corporate sanitized card for them. But going forward, you better believe you're going to see something that looks like a poorly booked SmackDown on every single Raw. So, Javon was saying, Noseman embodies the true definition of Occam's razor. And that's the crazy thing, is that we can all see it, and a lot of people can't. Our community and more people are waking up to it, but there's such a large majority, and this is why I've always said that Triple H almost has these people under a spell. There's such a large majority that think that he's such a good booker when he is so unbelievably bad at his job. He just does rematches. He does friendship and betrayal. He doesn't know how to build stars. He's trying to take people in their 30s and 40s and make them out to be the future of WWE. People that have had a lot of pre-existing injuries beforehand. People that have already had their spot at the top. Yet, hey, let's give Damian Priest another run. Another run. No. They already had their fucking chance. Build up new stars, you dumb fuck. And nobody calls him out for the fact that he doesn't do that. Just recently, he caved in and had to give Tiffany Stratton a title. Who knows how fucking long she's going to hold that. She'll probably lose it to Charlotte before WrestleMania. Yeah. And then even with Braun Breaker. Look at Braun Breaker, the future of WWE. And he's just some mid-card jabroni sitting out in the fucking crowd. Braun should have came out and fucking speared somebody on the show. I would have loved it if he got his revenge on Undertaker for punking him over in NXT. Came out and clotheslined him off the fucking bike and stomped him down. That would have been some fucking dope shit. But you're not going to get any good storyline shit with Triple H. Especially if it's somebody that we like. Nah, if we like them, they're going to be sitting in the crowd or sitting back and catering. Fucking asshole. God,
yeah. Oh, absolutely. So, just real quick. So, if people don't know what Occam's razor is, it's like kind of like the most obvious explanation is probably the correct one, is kind of like what that is. So
yes. Yeah, pretty much. What was it? Dylan Lasagna was saying, was Rock simply giving Roman the Ula Fala, him saying that he'd rather film live-action Moana instead of Mania in Vegas? Well, from what I take it, live-action Moana is almost done. I mean, it kind of shapes up to the point where I think he has another 1 or 2 weeks in production, and then he's free to do whatever. So if he's got about at least a good 6 weeks before Mania, he should be good. He's already in great shape as it is. I'm sure he just needs to work on his cardio. Even then, I thought his cardio was really good for the street fight. A lot of people were saying he was going to burn out like Ultimate Warrior before 5 minutes. He was lasting longer than everybody else. So, I think people need to give Rock the chance. I think right now he's trying to swerve people. I think he will have a presence at WrestleMania. He has to at this point. With Triple H, he's going to tank this fucking Netflix deal quicker than any other deal in recent WWE memory. He's going to fuck this deal up really bad to the point that I guarantee you WWE will have to go back to USA Network. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. It's going to be the point USA Network is going to be the home of WWE.
So one of the things you're going to want to look for going forward is the top 10. Because with it being a live TV show and with the amount of money that Netflix is paying, they're paying good money for a reason, and they're expecting results. And we even read an article from a Netflix exec saying that they're going to expect they're going to hold Raw's viewership like they will to any other Netflix show, and especially for the money that they're paying. So if they're not in the top 10, that's a problem. That's a big fucking problem. And if they're consistently not in the top 10, look for Netflix to try and get out of the deal or demand creative changes in WWE. I think that what TKO will do is TKO would rather fire Triple H and make Netflix happy than keep Triple H and lose any kind of deal they could going forward with Netflix. They are about making money first and foremost, above even protecting Triple H. They just look at Triple H as, okay, he's a guy that we can work with and he's easy to get along with. I would imagine Triple H is I would imagine he's good at doing that. He's good at sucking dick. He's good at kissing ass. And so I think that he's making them happy. But if push comes to shove, Triple H is out the door.
There's so many hypotheses of what goes on behind the scenes. Common sense usually does not rule behind the scenes when it comes to shit like this. We all talk about common sense. We have the common sense. You got to understand, though, that money plays differently at the top. And Triple H, he is very well ingrained and involved and entrenched in the WWE system at this point, to the point that he's expanding now into NXT Europe. He's doing all these NXT Japan, all these weird territory bullshit outside of the US. He's really trying to get his octopus tentacles everywhere. And then you also have to look too about the relations with the talent. He's their papa. You get rid of this guy, you're going to have a roster that hates their fucking life and may mail it the fuck in even more so than what they're already doing.
Sure, absolutely. But people need to understand why Raw's had so much leeway, because people will wonder, okay, well, why weren't creative changes made? Why is it that if USA were unhappy with the viewership of Raw, why didn't they make any demands? And the answer is simple: is that Raw was even as low as it was the most viewed show on the USA Network, bar none. Period. So with that, they have leverage. They've got leverage. It can suck, but they've got leverage. Now with it being on Netflix, they don't have that leverage over Netflix. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of the situation with Fox, where they only had that one deal, and the viewership was poor. It was below what Fox execs were expecting. And what happened? WWE lost their Fox deal for SmackDown, and they had to send SmackDown over to USA Network. Well, that was a new partnership. And Raw SmackDown was not the most viewed show on Fox broadcast. It was not, nowhere close. So Raw on Netflix is not going to be the most viewed show on Netflix. They are not going to have that leverage. So I do think that there could be a change going forward.
I mean, very much a possibility. It's all too early to tell. I would say, at the very least, let's wait until after Mania to see what starts changing around. Because I think for sure Triple H has his plan set for Mania. They're going forward regardless if he gets magically unseated or not. We're going to see a Triple H WrestleMania for 42. There's no question about that. Truth was saying college football, 2023 national title game, TCU versus Georgia, a 58-point blowout, had 17.22 million views, but cord cutting, LOL. Well, that's something that people don't take into account, is that football, doesn't matter if it's college or professional, is widely respected amongst most normal people. Most normies fucking love football. They love their fucking football. They don't respect or like pro wrestling. You can't go up to some dude at the fucking supermarket and be like, hey, did you check out that Roman Reigns match? You'll look like a fucking weirdo. You can, however, say, hey, did you check out the game? And then you can engage in a little small talk and have a conversation and do a little bonding. Sports are a great male bonding tool right now. That's the greatest point that I think they serve. I'm not too fond of the tribalism that goes into them, but I love the fact that most people, you can bond over that shit. If you are into sports, you can bond easily with just about anybody off the street and talk to them about it. So that shows you that, it's still popular, it's still culturally relevant. Pro wrestling has become so niche, so incredibly niche, that anime is more well respected than pro wrestling.
Oh yeah.
And that whenever a cartoon is more respected than live action, that shows you how much of a fucking cartoon WWE is modern day.
Well, the problem with it is that the wrestlers are looking at attendance as the be-all, end-all, because they're saying, well, the ratings are going to be different. Well, I mean, look, there are more people in America than there were in the 90s. There are more people living and breathing in America than there were in the 90s, so there's more potential ticket buyers. You have a product that appeals more to a niche fan base, where it's the people that watch it because they can see so much of it, and they can interact with it on social media. They could watch it on TV. They could watch it on streaming services. There's more venues for the passionate wrestling fan to get even more passionate. And so that and you notice how Triple H is catering more and more to them, and TNA is doing the same thing, and AEW is doing the same thing. They're all pulling the same audience, and we're getting record low viewership. But notice how that the attendances are great, even though the ratings are at record lows.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is that even then the attendances aren't great. I think in certain buildings they do well. It depends on the market, but like we're gonna show you from this most recent SmackDown, they're getting more and more empty. I really hate that narrative that they're still packing people in the fucking seats. For PLEs, maybe not for regular fucking shows. For regular shows, if it's not a big show like the Raw Netflix debut, you're not going to get a whole lot of people because there's no fucking buzz. Nobody wants to see fucking Andrade go at it again in a best of 5 with Carmelo Hayes. Nobody wants to see that shit. No, that you can't hang a card off of that. Nobody wants to see Shinsuke Nakamura. Nobody wants to see his spasming Japanese bullshit. Nobody wants to see any of this shit. And that's why you don't have draws on SmackDown anymore. Raw, they're piling all their eggs on this show to try to make it into something. I don't think it is. Especially because Triple H is just going to push who he pushes. That's how it is. Alejandro said, when I was a kid, finishers, kickouts were special because it barely happened and it built suspense. Now it doesn't mean anything. It's just another move. Yeah, back in the day, somebody got hit with a super kick or a choke slam or a power bomb. That was it. 1, 2, 3. You know, that meant something. And what Triple H has effectively done by embracing the indies in New Japan is he's brought to a point where this whole fan base is being preconditioned to expect a match to go on forever. To expect these guys to be real fucking badasses and kick out of each other's finishers and specials. To the point that it doesn't mean anything anymore. To the point where you have to have moves like DDTs and super kicks and power bombs and choke slams as regular fucking moves. Back in the day, it was just a punch, a kick, a snapmare, put him in a sleeper hold, throw him to the ropes, clothesline, go to the top rope, land a couple moves, maybe hit him with a Boston Crab or something. It didn't have to be as in your face as it is nowadays. And that's the thing too, is even those moves, they mattered back in the day. Now, they spam them like fuck and they don't matter. Will Ospreay, thank God he's not in WWE, because can you imagine how fucking bad WWE would be with fucking Will Ospreay and, God forbid, Kenny Omega in there? They'd make the culture even fucking worse.
They would. They'd make it more nerdy and more pussified. But, you know, as I'm thinking about the attendances, you know, yes, the attendances, I guess, matter. I mean, you do want people to attend your shows if you're having wrestling shows, of course. But at the end of the day, the vast majority of money for WWE, AEW, TNA really comes from their media deals, their streaming deals, their TV deals. That's where it comes from. And if Netflix is not happy, if they're paying all this money for a live show and it's not even breaking the top 10, and it's consistently not even breaking the top 10, you could expect changes to be made. Netflix, it's a new partnership. It's a new partnership. They don't have leverage over them like they did over USA Network, where they were the biggest program on their channel. No, WWE is far from the fucking biggest show that will ever be on Netflix. It was the #1 viewed show for a little teeny tiny bit when Stephanie McMahon tweeted about it, but after that, it's dropped out of the top 10. Nowhere to be found.
Yeah, and even in even overseas, Netflix, when they had SmackDown on, it was on there for a day and then disappeared. So it doesn't matter if it's Raw or SmackDown on Netflix. Its hype usually lasts about 24 hours and fades away. It's going to get even shorter going forward. I would just have to say it's going to be in the top 10 on the next Raw for Netflix, but it won't be on the Raw after or the one after that. I think that momentum is going to greatly fade because of the show being presented. That's just my opinion.
What we generally see is what we typically see is that it doesn't just drop off all at once. It usually fades away, dwindles. Like you peel off more, like 200,000, 300 more thousand, 400 more thousand, and then you're down to your core audience of like 1.5, 1.6 million of what Raw's been getting. And so I think that's what's likely to happen. Could you have a massive drop-off? Absolutely. Because this show did nothing to hold anybody. And this is the problem, is that, you know, Raw needs to go back to being a episodic TV show, and you will never get that under Triple H because he doesn't understand what it is. What he understands is, I need to make the show epic, amazing, awesome. I need to book a WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw, not realizing that it's episodic TV is what brings in the viewers week after week. But he doesn't care because there's no pressure yet.
Exactly. So he's free to do whatever he wants with his little bucket of toys. That's the way it is. Suk Johal was wondering, will you do a top 10 on Batista? His success is one of the few good things that Noseman was behind. We actually did. A couple months ago, we did a top 10 on Batista. You can find it over on our Patreon. And for anybody looking for a lot of our top 10 sucks, we couldn't have it on our main channel or our backup channel because we had a lot of people go crazy, flag them like they went out of their way to flag our videos and get us strikes and all sorts of shit. So after going through all that, we just put it all on Patreon. You can get it for $1 a month. So yeah, check it out over there. Batista, he's a Hollywood corporate sellout. I'm really shocked that he didn't show up to do anything for the Netflix show. But at the same time, it shows, if anything, that he really hates pro wrestling and he doesn't want to come back ever. I mean, I think that even that last match with Triple H really soured on him to the point where you really have to think about it. Triple H has fucked over just about every single person who was close to him. Whether it's Batista, Randy Orton, Shawn Michaels, anybody who came up with him, he's really fucked over. The only people he hasn't really fucked over are the people who he made in NXT. He treats them like children. All the people who were raised at the same time as him, like The Rock, John Cena, Undertaker, there's a reason why they don't want to come back and do full-time returns under his power, under his authority, because they know what will happen. They know that they will be jobbed into fucking oblivion. They've seen what happened to Brock Lesnar. They don't want that happening to their legacy.
When was the last time we saw Stone Cold in WWE?
It's been a long time since Vince was in power.
Since WrestleMania 38. There you go.
Yeah. So that tells you that a lot of these big time guys, they'll only come back if it's Vince. And that's how I feel, honestly, with Brock, is he'll only come back if it's Vince, or if TKO is actively saying, okay, we need him to come back, Triple H, you're going to have to deal with this problem. That's the only way. But yeah, Batista, I don't think he's ever going to come back. Dark Bullsy said, big problem with Raw is its lack of direction and lack of urgency. It set up nothing to look forward to. The show was slow. And new viewers seeing it would be like, and why did this happen? That's how we felt the whole entire show. At the very least, like I said, 3 out of 4 matches did have some sort of storyline going into them that they were building upon. And there was heat going between all 3 of those matches. But with Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre, I felt like that was an absolutely pointless match. I felt like all the celebrities in the crowd showing them was absolutely pointless. The shit with Gabriel Iglesias, I think it is, the fluffy guy with New Day, absolutely pointless. A lot of the backstage segments were pointless. The Rock doing that shit with Cody off camera where they were drinking, pointless. So much shit was pointless to the point that we're like, okay, why would I even want to view the next card? What do I have to look forward to? And even they showed the match graphics. Who wants to see 2 NXT Black and Gold female jobbers go at it in what is probably going to be a 45-minute match? What is the incentive there? What do I have to look forward to? Oh, might I see Bronson Reed come out and give somebody a tsunami? It's like,
if you're a casual fan, you're not invested in anybody that they advertised because you literally don't know who the fuck they are. But if you are a casual fan, you know who The Rock is, you know who Undertaker is, you know who John Cena is, you know who Triple H is. That's where they needed to start their storylines. They needed to start their biggest storyline of the year on this Raw and seize the moment. But they didn't do that because Triple H wanted to book bangers because he's a mark.
That's all he was concerned with, was booking bangers and doing it his way. It was basically like, yeah, I'm going to do it my way, but I'll add a few Netflix things on the side. And that's how it pretty much was. He did what he could to make the corporate people at Netflix happy, but you better believe he's going to book the show the way he wants. If he has the reins, he will. That's how it is.
He'll book it how he wants, so long as Netflix is okay. So long as they're not angry at him, he can book however he wants.
Straight up. So Dylan Lozani was saying, Big Nose putting the title back on Rhea was a major step backwards. He's too stupid to see she won't have anyone to face now that she can't leech off Liv and Dom anymore. Well, don't tell that to the fucking nerds online, because they won't stop jacking off about the potential for Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley for the world title. They really want Rhea to face Io for the title. They want Io to win the Women's Royal Rumble. I am so fucking sick and tired of all the jacking off of Io Sky. She is not good. She doesn't deserve to be champion. She should have never been champion in the first place. Feuding with Rhea for the title at WrestleMania. That is the worst fucking challenger out of any fucking challenger. Like, what is the incentive of having Io Sky even face off against Rhea for the title? What is the incentive there?
None. Well, and you're not building anybody new. Like, that's the problem. Like, I get why you'd want to push Lyra Valkyra in that match. I'm not. See,
Io Sky is the one they're pushing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Io Sky is the big one that they're pushing. No, at least with Lyra, there's talent there. I mean, she's still green, got brought up way too early, but there's still talent there. I won't deny that. With Io Sky, this is NXT Black and Gold jack-off material, especially against Rhea Ripley. This is what they want to see. And unfortunately, these fucking nerds, if they want it, they're going to get it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, they're absolutely going to get it. Because this is Triple H is one of them. He thinks like them, and so I mean, like logically speaking, if Rhea, since Rhea now has the title, and you got to have a WrestleMania match, who do you book her against?
If we were in charge, it would be somebody that actually you could build up. But that's the problem, though, is nobody has been built up. It would have to be at the point that you have to like bring back Trish Stratus and have her just beat the shit out of Rhea, because Triple H has done such a terrible job of building up female talents. Like even Tiffany just recently got her shot. Who knows how long she's going to hold that title? But besides her, nobody has really been properly built up. There's talent in NXT right now that can be brought up. I think Fallon Henley would be a great bring up. You know, I think she's ready to go. Maybe Lash Legend. You know, there's definitely talent, I think, in NXT that needs to be utilized. But I don't know. If you really have to go for anything, just, and it's something that Triple H will like, and it's different, fucking just push Jade. I know she's green, but you get your muscle mommy fetish, and you actually get a woman that's actually stronger than Rhea and looks like a credible threat. So it's different, I guess, and Netflix will fucking love her, you know. So there you go.
But there's only one problem. She doesn't have the right look.
Always a problem.
Yep.
So, Coach sipping Jamba Juice out of a straw said, the sad thing is that WWE, much like a lot of big corporations, NFL, NBA, etc., are in a chance to support them because they make so much money in other ways. And that's honestly a business strategy that they learned from Vince McMahon. A guy, everybody wants Vince McMahon to come back, but they need to realize that he's the one that made WWE into a business model, to the point that UFC, like he was seeing what UFC did, and he's like, you know what, Dana, I like it how you make the company about not just one fighter. You make it UFC is the draw. And even Triple H has gone on record saying, no, you know, it's not the wrestlers, WWE is the draw. So that's an issue where no star is bigger than the company. And I'm sure that, you know, Dana learned that after Conor McGregor. He's like, you know what? I got to stop doing this. I'm making enough money as it is. I got all these deals in place. Let me just hire these broke-ass Dagestanians and have them come bore the fuck out of everybody. You know? It became a situation where, you know, it's not going to affect his bottom line. He's already getting paid. He's already doing well, so fuck it. You know? That's it's almost like a situation like with WWE where they bring all these low-pay indie fucks. Why not? The fans are going to love them. You know? Why not?
They got the work right, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's why, Triple H, he's looking to cut corners any way he can and underpay talents. He's always been a good blackballer, lowballer. So Darth was saying, impression, after The Rock books H in a poisonous leaf-eating match with a koala at WrestleMania, H crying, goes and eats eucalyptus, leaves practicing. He smiles, realizing he's retarded. Okay.
All right, you big nose fuck. That's it. You and a koala. Poisonous leaf-eating match. You die or he dies. Either way, nobody's walking out. Just one person. What do you say? What do you say, Triple H? What do you got?
All right, but I gotta get some practice first. Yeah, you gotta be ready for Mania if you're gonna be putting out a banger like that. So, all right. So I see you brought a pile of eucalyptus leaves over there. I'm gonna go eat them.
You know they're poisonous, right? You know that, right?
I'm retarded.
Wow, you really are fucking stupid. Wow.
So, Coach said, thoughts on Chargers getting their asses whooped like usual?
Oh my god, dude. The thoughts are, like, that team was not built for the playoffs. Like, no matter what, like, that O-line, lack of receivers, like, the only wide receiver on that team that was catching passes was Ladd McConkey. He was the only guy. 9 receptions, 197 yards. It's like, they're going to have $100 million in the offseason to load up this team, and they're going to. Like, the GM is good. He knows what he's doing. He can find late rounds gems in the draft. Cam Hart type still. You know, and so, like, with Justin Herbert, he needs to use his legs more. And like, I always look at Matthew Stafford and Peyton Manning's early playoff record. I mean, go look them up. Like, you'll be shocked at how fucking bad those great quarterbacks were early in their playoff careers. So,
for sure, man. It's always sad
even
seeing
Lamar.
our team get wrecked like that, you know.
I mean, like, even Lamar. Like, there's a whole argument about Lamar Jackson of, oh, he can never win a playoff game. How many years did that go on for?
Yeah.
So,
So Dylan Lasagna was saying the IWC is really gaslighting people into believing tomorrow's Netflix Raw in San Jose is selling ticks because of Penta El Zero in Rhea. Yet Noseman still refuses to give the Bay Area a long overdue pay-per-view. He's got something against the Bay Area. I don't know what the fuck that is. But yeah, that's one thing that I've noticed even with WWE when it was under Vince's control is they love going to San Jose. I don't see the big fucking deal. San Jose is like whatever, you know. I think you would want to do San Diego, LA, you know, that's where you would want to go. But no, San Jose, whatever. But anyways, yeah, Penta El Zero versus Chad Gable is not a fucking dream. Barely anybody knew who the fuck Penta El Zero was over in AEW. Nobody knows about his fucking stint during Lucha Underground. I think he's gonna get some people to be fans of his over time, but you can't take people from other companies that are no names and expect them to be draws in mystery matches. It's like what he's going for. I feel it was a big mistake to put Penta on that show. You need to have clear identities for the show. You need to have SmackDown be your work rate banger show. Have Raw be your storyline show. This is where the actors go. So you have your actors, you have your bangers. I just feel like a guy like Penta would benefit more from being on SmackDown and coming up through there. But whatever. It's the Triple H show. He does what he wants, and he brings in people that aren't going to draw, and that's the way it is, you know. So Triple H versus Koala. Poisonous Leaf match happens. Nia tells The Rock that H has a koala brain. Koala attacks Nia, jumping on her face. The Rock pulls out a fire extinguisher, aiming at the koala, but hitting Nia in the face.
So am I Nia?
You're Nia, yes.
Okay.
Hate to be the bearer of bad news, you stupid bitch, but your dumbass husband just ate eucalyptus leaves and yeah, he's dead.
I mean, well, he's got the brain of a koala. I mean, look at him. Look at how fucking stupid he is. Yeah. Oh shit. Rock, get it off.
Oh shit. Oh yeah. Oh wait, hold up. I'll grab this fire extinguisher. Hold still. Damn it, you fucking ugly bitch. Hold still. He's trying to make you prettier, but hold still. Did I get it? Oh shit, I just got you. Huh. Are you okay? I guess.
No, I'm not okay. I'm freezing.
Well, too bad. That's what you get for dating a dumbass piece of shit like Triple H. You make me sick.
So JS was saying, impression, dog chases Dustin Rhodes, Cody chases the dog. Right. Oh my god, Cody. There's this dog, he's chasing after me. He won't stop chasing my tail. He's coming after my arm.
I'm gonna catch you.
He's gonna get me. Oh, he's snapping at my tail. Oh, yeah, he just got me in the butt. Oh, cornbread. Dar said, impression, H eating eucalyptus leaves with a big smile going, nom nom nom, but two people come out with incredible disdain for H. It's Darth and Psycho. Okay. Nice.
Yum.
You fucking retard, what are you doing? Look at this guy. He's eating eucalyptus leaves.
Leave me alone.
How are you still alive? You should be dead.
I'm brain dead. Does that count?
Kinda. Hey, Darth, you want to kick his ass? Fuck yeah. Fuck you, asshole.
You caved my nose in.
Good. Here, let me do it again. Lisa said, "Crazy how Cena is the last megastar in wrestling." This is what we get. This is what we get in a situation where we have no real big crossover stars. You're not going to see people like Seth Rollins cross over to Hollywood. He failed. He failed so bad that they completely cut his scene out of the deleted scenes. Out of Captain America Brave New World. How bad of an actor do you have to be to get cut out of the deleted scenes?
I mean, ask Becky Lynch, you know?
Yeah. Birds of a feather, I guess. Yep. Trent High said, impression, Dave kidnaps TWRP and forces you guys to watch all of AEW's 5-star matches. Brock comes to the rescue and F5's Dave.
All right, you guys. You can wake up. You can go ahead and lift up your blindfolds.
What the fuck, Dave? Dave, where are we, Dave?
Actually, in my parochial jack-off basement, ignore the smell of stale musty cum. I speak a lot of loads down here. Well, I'm sick and tired of you guys. You always make fun of me, and I've had it, and I'm gonna force you guys to watch all of AEW's 5-star matches back to back to fucking back, and I'm gonna be jacking off right next to you the whole fucking time.
No, please. Dave, please
You
don't.
fucking ass. Bro, why do you gotta involve us in your sexual fetishes? This is come on. I understand us watching matches, but then you're jacking off next to us? Come on, dude. It smells like a fucking salmon hatchery in here.
I gotta check off somewhere. My wife was complaining too much about the cum smell coming from my room, so I had to take it down in the basement. You can only hide it so much.
Yeah, you're fucking gross, bro. You're fucking gross.
Brock.
Oh, sure thing.
Yeah. Brutality.
All right. Guys, thank you for joining us for this Triple H's Bad Booker. Join us over on the main channel for some news. NC.
JC and.
Peace out.